welcome to Tales of Honor Podcast, a podcast dedicated to telling the true stories of the Congressional Medal of Honor. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tales of Honor Podcast. I'm your host, Christoph Ambrosch, and today's episode is 77. We are going to go back to World War I for 2 months. You guys voted on Instagram. It was between the Civil War, Spanish-American War, World War I, and Korea, and you all voted for World War I, and that's what you're going to get for 2 months. This month and next month will be World War I recipients. After that, we will go to Korea, since that was the next highest. But hey, let's focus on one thing at a time, and that's what we're going to do tonight, and it's being brought to you by The Bearded Detailer. Go ahead and visit thebeardeddetailer.com for all your automotive detailing solutions. Also, over there, t-shirts. Have you ordered yours yet? ? I didn't mean to say question mark, but I'm going to do it anyway just to emphasize why haven't you done it if you haven't already. But there is time before the pre-order is finished. They are going to be nice tri-blend t-shirts with Tales of Honor podcast on it. It's going to be great. They are going to be great shirts. I'm looking forward to having them done, and you can go ahead and pick yours up over at thebeardeddetailer.com. You can also see it on our webpage, talesofhonorpodcast.com, and 50% of the profits of that t-shirt will go to the Congressional Medal of Honor Society. So it's not a get-rich scheme. This is going to be a great shirt, trying to give back to the community. And over at thebeardeddetailer.com, if you use the promo code TOH10, that's going to get you 10% off all the goodies on thebeardeddetailer.com. And for any order that uses that promo code, 75% of the profits will be donated to the Congressional Medal of Honor Society as well. Trying to keep a good thing going, the Bearded Detailer, your dirt is his business. And now, a tale of honor. Willis W Bradley Jr. was born on the 28th of June, 1884 in Ransomville, New York, and later moved to Milnor, North Dakota with his parents, and then to Foreman, North Dakota. After high school, Willis served as the Deputy Registrant of Deeds in Sargent County and went on to graduate from the U.S. Naval Academy on the 12th of September, 1906. He received his commission as an ensign in 1908 after 2 years at sea on the USS Virginia, and went on to serve on the USS Culgoa, where he would help provide aid to the survivors of the 1908 Messina earthquake. For his actions, he received the Silver Medal from Pope Pius XI. After serving on the USS Perkins, the USS Hancock, and the USS South Carolina, Willis would command the USS Biddle and the Reserve Torpedo Group from Annapolis, Maryland. In September of 1913, Willis studied ordnance and explosives at the Naval Postgraduate School in Annapolis and George Washington University before continuing on to the Naval Proving Ground, Bausch and Lomb, and the Midvale Steel Company. Willis returned to sea, commanding the USS Stewart in July of 1915, and was later transferred to the command of the USS Hull. It was his actions as a gunnery officer aboard the USS Pittsburgh that would earn him the Medal of Honor. The citation reads, "For extraordinary heroism and devotion to duty while serving on the USS Pittsburgh at the time of an accidental explosion of ammunition on that vessel. On 23 July 1917, some saluting cartridge casings were being reloaded in the after casemate. Through an accident, an explosion occurred. Commander Bradley, then lieutenant, who was about to enter the casemate, was blown back by the explosion and rendered momentarily unconscious, but while still dazed, crawled into the casemate to extinguish burning materials in dangerous proximity to a considerable amount of power, thus preventing further explosions." After his actions, Willis returned to shore and headed the Explosives, Fuses, and Primers section of the Bureau of Ordnance. After serving as a gunnery officer aboard 2 more ships, Willis commanded the USS Gold Star at Guam in the Mariana Islands, and in June of 1929 became governor of Guam, where he would issue Guam's first Bill of Rights and sought U.S. citizenship for the Chamorros, the indigenous people of Guam. He also reorganized the Guam Congress and made the first free elections of village commissioners possible. In 1931, Willis went back to sea in command of the USS Bridge for 2 years before becoming captain of the yard at the Pearl Harbor Naval Yard, and then on to command the USS Portland. His final duty was with the Board of Inspection and Survey on the West Coast before his retirement on the 1st of August, 1946. Shortly after, Willis was elected to the 80th Congress and served as an assistant to the President of the Pacific Coast Steamship Company. He also served as a member of the California State Assembly shortly before his death on the 27th of August, 1954. Willis W Bradley Jr. is buried in the Fort Rosecrans National Cemetery in San Diego, California, Section O, Grave 2925. And that was a Tale of Honor. Thank you for listening to Tales of Honor podcast. If you like this podcast, please be sure to leave a nice review, a good rating, and tell your friends and family. You can see more information about the podcast and our t-shirts on Facebook, Instagram, and at talesofhonorpodcast.com. If you have any questions or comments, you can send them to talesofhonorpodcast@gmail.com. And until next time, I'm Christoph Ambrosch. Thanks for listening.